7:14. I got out here around 5:30 this morning and did a 15-minute, then 40-minute, then made myself another coffee and got my videos from the last 2 days posted. And here I am in the sauna again. I need an extra round. I had a really delicious, luxurious dinner last night, breaking carnivore, and I'm so happy to return to my morning ritual of a big glass full of chlorophyll water and then my special coffee that has so much collagen and coconut and mushrooms, dandy, blend, MCT, all these things that are so nourishing to me and just get my digestion going. And I missed it in its completeness. I still did coffee with collagen in it, but it just wasn't the same and it wasn't as effective. So I think the carnivore diet was successful because really it was about doing a leptin reset, which I did 2 days ago, which I feel like had a big effect on my appetite yesterday. I wasn't nearly as hungry. By dinner I was, and then we just had an amazing dinner. It's kind of a celebration dinner of the last year. The news I got a couple days ago is that the owners of the house that we're in are going to sell this house, and soon and quickly if stars align for them. So that was the unexpected news I got, and it was shocking, a little rattling, especially with all that's going on in our lives right now. But also, we've outgrown this house. We could definitely use more space for each of us and for tribe family to have more room for ceremonies and just gatherings. So I'm trusting that this is all part of God's plan and the prayer of show me how good it can get, and that I'm in getting my new sound bowls and some tools and things for that. Like, I just really have not had space, so things are kind of stacked up right now, and I've actually been purging my closet, and so I'm like, well, this all lines up. But it was hard to hear because I'm in the sauna right now at the house that I live in, and it's amazing. So that will be goals, is to build a sauna at the new house. But it's all happening really fast, so this is a moment for miracles. Ironically, I did a miracle meditation the morning that I heard the news. I heard the news later that day. And when I heard the news, I felt the availability to panic, but I decided to do a sound healing on myself. And then I started working on my vision board that I'd cut all the pieces out. I'm like, it's go time. So in looking back on the last several months, and like really the last several years, but particularly the last several months, like it's been about quantum leaps. Like, I signed up to do shamanical training, which is next month. And when I signed up for that a couple months ago, like the ceremony started, and I went through a pretty wild, interesting shamanic initiation process, which maybe I'll share stories of at some point. Maybe I'll write about it. I think I did write about it actually in the memoir, because it took place while I was writing the first draft of the first memoir. I intend to write the memoir again from the lens of love, whereas the first one was more of... Anyways, that's another story. Now I've gone off track. I'm really good at telling many stories at once, but can I bring myself all the way back around? Yes, I can. So I signed up for shamanical training, and then the ceremony started, the initiation process started. I signed up for sound healing training certification, which was supposed to take place in March, and then my teacher showed up. Before I didn't know who my teacher was. I just picked a class at a place that I trust and love, but then putting that out into the universe meant that I attracted the right teacher for me, with days notice to the class. So I'm just noticing that like putting the intention out there is magnifying and amplifying the speed and the frequency and the power. It's the super attractor. So I have been dreaming of a new house that has more space and just opens up opportunities for more people to be here. So it kind of doesn't surprise me, although it's just an interesting time. But I trust that the stars are aligning and that this is the perfect time. And that the story of my life right now is not that this is going to be a turn in a chaotic direction, and that any chaos that may be happening might be just working in my favor. So, yeah, just feeling all the feels, feeling the sadness and the gratitude for this place and this time in my life, for this beautiful nest that this place has been for me, and the miracle and magic that brought this opportunity to my life, and to share it and to live in tribe and for it to be successful and beautiful and so deeply healing and nourishing. I've really nested here. I've really done some deep work and self-care here, some transformation, some growth. So I trust that it's time to fly the nest and onward to the next part of the journey. So that's something else I wanted to talk about today, was self-care. I've talked about it before, but it keeps coming up as part of the medicine, a big part of the medicine of what I've learned and what I believe I'm meant to share and teach is the self-care rituals. And it's been the hugest, most impactful guiding force for change, transformation in my life, is slowing down and listening to what I need and taking care of myself, down to the very most basic things, paying special close attention to myself and my body and how I nourish myself, how I clean myself, how I listen to my needs, and to really discern, are those needs or wants or resistance, or what are they? And using muscle testing as a tool to help me decide when I know that I might be too much in my head. Our hands are an extension of our heart. So using the hands as a tool for muscle testing is a great way to connect to the heart and to the body's needs and drop lower from the head and the thoughts into the body. But it's so counterintuitive in some ways to the way we live in this world, where it's so fast paced that we tell ourselves we don't have time for ourselves. And it's just not true. It's really not true. We choose to make the time. And when we choose to make the time and prioritize ourselves and give ourselves spaciousness and love and support, then we know how to show up in the world for not only ourselves but others. How do we truly take care of another person if we don't take care of ourselves? And that's what we most need right now. We teach ourselves how to be that love in the world when we love ourselves. When we truly pay attention with so much awareness, love, forgiveness, appreciation, gratitude, when we really, really listen to our needs and we really show up for ourselves and we build that strong relationship with ourselves, we're really building a relationship of faith and gratitude for this life, for this body, for this experience, for the delicacy of this opportunity. And then when we show up to another, we're more able to listen because we're listening from a place of our own experience. Oh, I recognize in you something that I recognize in myself. The need to slow down, the need to tend to ourselves, the need to get a massage, the need to have a self-care day, to take a walk, to get some sunshine. These things in the slowing down and tending to process are the things that help us to be more luminous, to expand our luminous body into the world and to attract things into our lives. When we're functioning from this truthful place, knowing what our sacred yes and no is. Do I truly want to do this thing or not? And it's okay to have obligations that you don't necessarily want to do, but being honest with ourselves about that. I'm choosing this obligation. It may feel like we're not, but we are. We always have an opportunity to say yes or no. It may have some pretty significant consequences, but we have to really recognize what those sacred yes and no's are. And sometimes we have to do things that are really uncomfortable for the greater good, for a bigger mission, to get out of our own bubble. We're here to help each other. And one of the things that's been coming through too is someone else and hear them and help them feel seen and heard. These are all some gifts of the journey of the practice. I recently shared in the Mentally Fit call about showing up to the hospital when I didn't necessarily want to have to do that, but that's what was called for. And because I've spent so much time taking care of myself, I was able to navigate that with much more availability, with much more calm, centering energy, with more curiosity into the unknown. You know, there were some things that were happening that I was able to tap into much more deeply because I wasn't afraid and I wasn't trying to avoid it. The enemy of the shaman is fear. So how do we overcome fear? We get curious and we go in. We know that we are warriors. We know that we have overcome hard, scary things. And we know that there is something on the other side waiting for us when we take that journey. So I've shared this before, but I think it was Alberto Villoldo that said, the Buddhist meditates, the Christian prays, and the shaman journeys. And for me, it really has been about taking that journey. How do I become more available to the life that I'm living with a curiosity, with presence, honoring the shadows and the protectors that come up as allies who are there to remind me of the experiences I've had to help keep me safe, but also for me to honor them and say thank you. Thank you for keeping me safe. Thank you for being with me. And it's okay. I've got this. I'm gonna walk in this new direction with this new story, which is really healing. It helps let go of those repetitive patterns of tales that we tell ourselves that can lead us to spirals of anxiety and avoidance. So it's a big pivotal time in my life, and it continues to be. And I remember saying like a couple months ago or something, like things are moving so fast and I feel like I have the opportunity and availability to say like I need it to slow down. But I was like, I don't want it to slow down. So I just have to slow down in my practices and make sure that I'm listening to myself, that I'm taking care of myself, that I'm tending to my needs, so that I can really show up in my fullness to whatever surprise is waiting for me. And who's to say it's not another miracle? Miracles are not just for, this this very rare occasion of someone who's in a really bad state. Miracles are available to us every day, all the time. We're experiencing them at every given moment, but can we see them? And one of the things that happened in my miracle meditation the other day was to recognize forgiveness. It was bringing the problem up, looking at it, and forgiving ourselves for that problem, or noticing it as a problem and letting it go, just letting it go. You have to carry things like heavy bricks on our back and surrender them. Can we show up to that mission and do what we came here to do? I don't know if I said it, but it's day 47. Deep thoughts from deep in the sauna. Cold morning walk. We're about to go take a drive around town and look at some possible new homes. So, manifesting all the good things. It was interesting. I heard the Snow Patrol song, Just Say Yes, playing in my head this morning after my shower. And the lyrics are like, just say yes, just say there's nothing holding you back. And I was like, okay, that felt like a message to just be available to the beauty of what's coming. So if the prayer is, God, show me how good it can get, am I available to believing in that? So, yes, I am. There's nothing holding me back.